Targeting competitors in Google Ads is a strategy that is alive and well and still as effective today as it ever was. So in this video, I'll show you how to do it. Implement these strategies in your campaigns to start seeing more sales coming in from people who are maybe about to buy from your competitor instead. If you're new here, I'm Daryl and I run a Google Ads agency over at bigflare.com. The strategies I'll share today are tried and tested across over 40 accounts doing over $40 million in combined revenue for our clients. So keep watching to avoid missing out. With that said, let's dive in. So a quick recap. What we are talking about here is taking your competitors' branded keyword terms, adding that as a keyword into your own Google Ads, and then showing your ads against those keywords when someone is searching for their terms. Now, the thing you need to know about this is it's totally allowed and legal. There's no sort of legal ramifications for doing this. In some cases, Google even encourages it. And another thing to know is that probably everyone else in your market is already doing it if they know how to run a Google Ads campaign. So it's probably about time for you to jump in on the bandwagon and start getting sales out of this as well. You should know that people searching for your competitors' brand terms have not necessarily 100% made up their mind about whether they are going to buy from that competitor or not. This is a common misconception that people have. They think that if someone is searching my competitor's brand term, then they've already made up their mind, so there's no point in me sneaking my ad in there. Well, there is a point in doing it because those people searching your competitor's brand have not necessarily 100% made up their mind. They could still be in research phase. So I'm going to show you an example of what that could look like. Let's head over to my computer screen so I can show you. So we're here on my computer screen and I'm going to show you an example. Let's pretend I'm in the mindset of looking for a standing workstation. And what I want to show you here, what I want to illustrate is the idea that people searching your brand terms or your competitors' brand terms even haven't necessarily made up their mind. So let's pretend that I'm researching now and I go into Google and I type in best standing workstation and I click on an article like this one in the New York Times. Here it is here, and I do a bit of reading and I'm trying to figure out, okay, which workstation do I want to go for? And New York Times are recommending this one, Uplift V2 Standing Desk, and I see a couple of other recommendations in here as well. And as part of my research, I want to find out more about these guys. Like there's a price here, but maybe I can get different prices. Maybe there are coupons available, and there's not that much information about how customizable this desk is on this article. So I head back over to Google and I search for this specific brand. Now remember, I'm still in research phase at this moment. And let's say I search for that brand and I see this search result. Here's one I found earlier. So I typed into Google, Uplift V2 Standing Desk, a branded search, and I see here a sponsored ad for an alternative workstation office, and it says, oh, it's the #1 office desk, and it says customize. So like maybe I was looking for that, right? Maybe I'm in research phase and I want to find out if this particular Uplift desk is customizable. And then I see this ad here, which clearly says in the headline that this is customizable. And you know, I'm still in research phase at this point, so maybe I click on that ad, go check them out, and who knows, maybe Uplift V2 just lost this sale to Workstation, who have clearly said in their ad that this is customizable. Next up, let's talk about ad copy and what you should do in your ad copy when you're targeting your branded competitor keyword terms. And the first thing to mention is what you don't want to do is to actually use their exact branded term in your ad copy. Just avoid it. Technically, you can get away with it if they haven't trademarked their term, and that is something you should do, by the way. If you have a trademarked term, you should make sure that you have registered that trademark with Google, and I'm going to show you how to do that in just a moment. But if your competitor's trademark term or their branded term is not trademarked with Google, it's not registered with Google, then technically you could get away with putting their brand name in your ad copy. But my recommendation is just avoid that. Just avoid the ickiness of it. Avoid the situation where you accidentally end up bidding on a trademarked term and have that trademark term in your ad copy. That is actually not allowed. So just avoid the hassle and don't put their branded term in your actual ad copy. Now, if your brand is a trademark term, then to just make sure that other people aren't doing this to you, then you want to head over to Google and type in register trademark with Google. and then you should find this article here from Google. So once you're on this page, what you want to do is scroll down to the end here and find the bit where it says third-party authorization request form, and you just go through the process of this form to submit your trademark to Google, and then you can legally prevent any other advertiser from using your brand term in their ad copy. You can't stop them bidding on your brand term, that is always allowed, unfortunately, but this is how you ensure that even those people who are bidding on your brand term, they can't actually use your brand term in their ad copy. Another thing you want to do with your ad copy for competitor brand targeting is to mention how you are different or better or unique compared to them. Think back to that example I just showed you earlier on about how that competitor brand had highlighted in their ad copy that their desk is customizable. So in that example, if Uplift's V2 desk is not that customizable, and I have a competitor product that I know is more customizable and I want to bid on their branded term, that is exactly why I would put that term into the ad copy so that people in the research phase will have a reason to click over to me instead of them. So have a think about how you're different or better than your competitor. Are you the cheaper alternative? In which case, highlight your price. Are you the more expensive alternative that has a higher quality product as a result, or maybe better customer service as a result? Well, in that case, maybe don't mention the price, but do mention the materials you use, the superior build quality, the better customer support, or whatever it is that makes you different and better than the competitor whose brand term you are targeting. Next up, let's talk about the keywords to use and the type of structure that you want to implement those keywords into in your campaign. So what you want to do is just target your competitor's brand name precisely, assuming that their brand name only sells competitor products to your product. Now, if they sell multiple products and only one or a few of their products are a direct competitor to yours, then you maybe don't want to target their brand name precisely, but you want to target the keyword that says their brand name plus the product. So let's say that I have the Uplift desk and I am targeting my competitor called workstation.com, but they don't just sell standing desks, they sell all these other kinds of office products that maybe I don't have. In that case, I wouldn't target just workstation as a branded keyword because someone could be searching for one of their other products. Instead of that, what I would target is workstation standing desk. So brand and then product name as well, product type as well, so that I can be sure that the type of traffic that I am targeting is relevant to my product. Now, once I've decided which keywords I'm going to target for my competitor, the other thing to decide is what kind of match type to use, and I'm going to make this really simple for you. Just go with phrase and exact match. Broad match is all well and good for expanding volume, but I find that for competitor targeting campaigns it can be a bit too broad and lead to a lot of irrelevant terms that you don't want in that campaign. So focus on phrase and exact match keywords, which are the more targeted type of keywords when doing competitor targeting. And the other thing to do is set it up in a different campaign. These keywords are going to perform very differently to the rest of your non-branded keywords, so it's a good idea to keep them in their own campaign because they're going to have that different performance, and you're probably going to want to use a slightly different style of ad copy for them. So segmenting it into its own campaign with its own ROAS target is usually the way to go here. Let's talk about what kind of performance you can expect from this campaign and these type of ads. The first thing to note is that you are going to get a low quality score, and that's because you can't mention the branded term in your copy. Google's going to know that this is slightly less relevant than the competitor's own ads, so you are going to be awarded a low quality score for this, which generally means you're going to get a lower volume, but don't worry, you can still get a good conversion rate. It'll be a lower volume, but it should normally work out to a return on ad spend that's in line with what you want as your target in the campaign. This is not going to be a campaign type that's going to scale you to the moon. It's going to be low volume, but it should be profitable, and it should be a little bit of extra profit in your account. And hey, who doesn't want a little bit of extra profit in the account? By the way, one thing that can help with improving your quality score and getting a bit more volume out of the campaign as a result is try adding a comparison table on your landing page and mentioning your competitor's brand term in that comparison table. What this does is, in addition to just giving the user a nice comparison for how you are different to your competitor, it allows you to strategically mention their branded keyword term on your landing page, which then in theory, improves your quality score, because one component of quality score is landing page experience, and Google judges landing page experience and thus part of your quality score based on how relevant your landing page is to the search term. So adding that comparison table there is an excuse to get that branded term on your landing page and improve your overall quality score, thus nudging up your volume a little bit for any given cost per click. But let's dive into one of my client accounts so I can show you the rest of the stats that are pretty typical for a competitor campaign. Okay, so I'm here in one of my client accounts, and I just wanted to show you the kind of stats that you can get out of a competitor campaign. So what you can see here is that we're getting a 333% return on ad spend, which is in line with our target for this account. So we want to bid at 300% return on ad spend and above. This campaign is doing that, but as I said, competitor campaigns tend to be low volume. We're getting less than 10% impression share. So this is small stuff. This is a new campaign, so I mean, it's getting like 3K revenue over the past, well, we launched it recently, like within the past month, I believe. So it's like a small fraction of the account's overall revenue, but the account's been running a lot longer than the past 30 days. But even if we change the date range, this would be a small portion of the overall account revenue. So this is why I said earlier that the competitor campaign isn't going to scale you to the moon, but it's going to be a bit of extra profit for you. This is 3K extra revenue at a decent return on ad spend for us. And the other thing to note is that CPCs will tend to be a bit higher than your account average, but that's fine because you can get good conversion rates out of competitor campaigns. And the reason for that is that someone who's searching for your competitor's brand term is often pretty close to the purchase point where they're ready to just buy a product that solves the problem that they have right now. I hope that's helped you know a little bit more about competitor campaigns and why you should be doing them, and also how to go about doing it. What questions do you have about competitor bidding in Google Ads, and what struggles have you encountered before with this? Let me know in the comments below and I'll help you out right there. In the meantime, if you liked this video and want more of the same, then do check out some of my other videos that should be showing up over there right now. I've got tons of expert Google Ads tips and advice for you on this channel, so check out my other videos, hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.